Oh, hold on. Let me make sure that... Yes, alright. Audio is good.
I guess there's Frost. Did we consider Frost a good map?
I think that was played a lot, so I think so. But anyway, here we are. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in into Afreeca World number 32, spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. It's Jin Air's Cure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, it's the red Zerg player. He comes from Jin Air, and he is Rogue.
The wonderful
Jin
thing...
Air Green Wings. So many syllables.
Jin Air Green Wings. I got my Jin Air Green Wings shirt and hoodie today.
No!
I did.
Want one. How do I get one?
It was $5 on the ESL shop. They had a sale.
Oh my god. A hoodie for $5
yes,
or the shirt for $5?
And a shirt. And I was like,
what?
I love Jin Air. Even if I didn't, it's still a $5 hoodie. I got a Team Liquid hat too. ESL was having like a clearance sale of a lot of old StarCraft stuff.
When was this? I need to sign up.
It was a few weeks ago. You might have missed the boat. You might not have.
When you can't find a hoodie for $5 anywhere.
Can't. I also got I'm just subtly bragging here, StarCraft nerd brag. I also got a CJ Entis their sweaters that they used to wear in like Pro League and stuff. And I know they're no longer doing StarCraft 2, but I was like, still, it's a sweater for like $5 as well. And I got a Team Liquid hat and a Yowie Flash Wolves hoodie.
That's just a fantastic deal for clothes in general, let alone awesome Jin Air Green Wings clothes.
It is.
Man. So I went to the shop and Jin Air Green Wings has literally nothing available at this point. Very sad about this. Next time there's a deal, you gotta let me know. Hit me up.
I will. I will.
Hey.
I was just so occupied. I saw that and I was like, I gotta buy this before it all sells out.
Gotta buy all of it and resell it. Put it on eBay. Anyway, Reaper opening here out of Cure. Nothing too crazy here from him. No proxies, no insanity. What is he? Looking for Lings. He's trying to see if there's any Lings ready to come in here and take down his SCV, building his command center while he's away. And just to make sure that doesn't happen, he's going to stay here patrolling, which is honestly the most boring use of a Reaper. I really feel like Reapers are intended to go out there and try to kill stuff and scout, but defense, they're pretty good at that too, so I can't really regret it too much.
It is, yeah. The main thing is that here, Cure, he wanted to skip that Marine, which a lot of Terrans make before they start their first reactor. So Cure just, I guess that's just like his preference, wanting to get those Hellions out as quick as possible, figures he'll keep the Reaper at home. And now just going to be crossing the map with this Reaper, diving on into the main base.
And Queen's ready to rock. No scouting at all at this point. Why are you fighting the Queen? That's such a just terrible decision, honestly. Like, get in there and go for a scout.
That's kind of pointless.
Right? If there's Lings there, fine, get out. But at least see if Alaire's coming up. Maybe check for that second gas and then get out of there. Just trying to get some shots off at the Queen and then running gets you, I mean, accomplishes nothing, really.
Yeah, we do have a medivac on the way for Cure, so we're going to be seeing some aggression coming his way. He's making a couple Marines here, getting that medivac and an armory. And this is my favorite push in the world, honestly.
It's so good.
It's just, yes, it is. It's just amazing. Just you're going to have Hellbats that get healed by a medivac. You're going to have Marines which also get healed by a medivac and have pretty good damage output, even without their stim pack. And it's just wonderful. I just love it.
And they can handle Queens. Like, one of the few things in the early game for Terran that can really just destroy Queens are Hellbats, especially if they're being healed by that medevac. So here we go. I don't know if everyone's going to move into the main base or what. Maybe attack at the front door a little bit. Ooh, the Liberator follow for Cure is also going to be very hard to handle. For Rogue, I'm loving this aggressive opening after the Reaper didn't do a whole lot. Ooh, free Overlord too.
This is really nice to start things off. The last thing that Rogue wants to be doing right now is replacing Overlords when he's trying to deal with this. His Lings are poking on in, but these are now Hellbats, not just Hellions. So Cure's got to, or Rogue's got to deal with this, pardon me. He's got Queens, a couple of Lings, and a Spine on the way, but not much else. Is he just dead?
I think he's just dead, LaughNgamez. He doesn't have any Banelings. He doesn't have any Roaches.
Oh my god.
He's going to try to hold this with Lings and Queens, which they got the medevac, which is fantastic
drones,
to you.
The drones.
The split not going very well for Rogue here at all. But they're actually not getting attacked all that much either, so it's working out
really
fairly
slow.
well.
That's what Hellions have up on them, but still 5 drones going down so far, and just Rogue's base is in disarray at this point. Spinecrawler doesn't even finish up, gets killed off, not cancelled. Liberator coming in behind this. All the Queens are dead. This is just terrible, regardless. And oh my god.
Yeah, Liberator says you're not gonna mine anything from this at all, and that's a good game. Cure takes game 1 in 5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Okay, good morning, Rogue. I'm willing to bet that Cure and Rogue just woke up, so it's just good morning.
This is a thing that can happen sometimes with Terran. You got to have something besides lings and queens.
Yeah.
Banelings and roaches, one or both, maybe? Both would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, Rogue didn't go for a lot of scouting that game, I guess. And, I mean, Terrans have been bringing out openings like that pretty consistently, so it's a bit of a bummer for Rogue how that happened, but it's a best of 5, though. That's one of the great things about Afreeca World, so Rogue not sweating too much yet, I imagine.
Yeah, it's not a best of 3 where one loss really sets you back big time. A best of 5 is, you know, one loss it hurts. Let's not make any mistake. It definitely hurts, but it's not something where it's going to wreck his chances of winning the whole thing. So Rogue is definitely capable of still coming back and winning this best of 5, making it to our final here today. We'll see how he does in game 2. I mean, hopefully that will come up, right? Hopefully that's like, yes, Cure's really good at StarCraft. I really can't skimp on scouting. I really can't skimp on preparing for these attacks. So let's make sure game 2 looks better.
Absolutely. Now, yeah, we'll see how the next game's going to go. That was pretty standard. We don't see Zerg straight up die to that push too often. Usually it's some degree of damage, but no, Cure, like, it just snowballed there. And so he's a very happy Terran with himself a nice 1-0 lead. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Jin Air Green Wings Cure.
And spawning the top right, it is Jin Air Green Wings Rogue.
It's just when you have 2 Jin Air players playing against each other, it doesn't matter who, you can guarantee it's going to be a good match.
Absolutely. Like, these players play against each other constantly.
You can just pull names out of a hat, and it's like, oh, SOS versus Maru, Rogue versus Trap. It's just, like, you can just pull names out of a hat, and you'll get fantastic matches. So, I mean, the real winners here are the fans, but no, these guys playing, just they'll play the 1 best of 5, then they'll play the best of 7 after that, as is the standard Afreeca World format, or the winner will play that and walk away with the potential crown.
Yeah, everybody likes crowns. Who doesn't like crowns? Yeah, I was trying to think. I was casting some StarCraft earlier this weekend, and I definitely saw that Hellbat timing attack just wreck somebody, and I think it was Maru taking down Sue, I believe is what it was. So definitely 2 players who are highly, highly accomplished, and there were even some roaches out for Sue, and it just didn't matter. It was so well executed by Maru.
Yeah, Maru.
So it's strong.
Yeah, and Maru Cure's teammate. So that's not an uncommon build. That's the thing. Like, so if you're gonna give Rogue like a bit of heck or whatever, like, it's like, okay, that's a pretty common build. That's generally one of the things you want to check off the list and be prepared for. But as far as this game goes, nothing too out of the ordinary. In fact, everything's incredibly ordinary here. Command center on the way, Reaper, spawning pool and hatchery, just everything completely normal so far. Except for that guy hanging out over there.
Little sneaky. sneaky as you can be if you're a giant 1,000,000,000-pound old god. It is one of the better features on a map I've seen in a long time. Just Amon just looming over everything.
Yeah, it's kind of like, imagine if you just like reached up and grabbed like your medivac. It wouldn't be very fair, but
no. Well, I mean, I don't know. What if it reached up and grabbed an air unit that came by every once in a while?
If he was
like
a very
killed an overlord, killed an oracle, got a medevac.
That would be like, you have to like micro your unit or whatever, so you have to try and dodge him grabbing it. Oh my god.
Yes, let's do it.
Gotta take. Anyway, Reaper poking on in here, moves across the map right away for Cure. So not just wanting to have that earlier scout and whatnot. Got his Hellions on the way, reactor finished up. And yeah, nothing out of the ordinary so far, but I mean, the last like 2 more minutes and we were at the end of the last game, so anything can happen at this point.
Yeah, and really what Rogue needs to scout here is the presence of an armory. If he can see that, he knows what's coming and can prepare for it adequately. He just didn't do it in the last game. And he's not really in position to do it here either, but there is not an armory coming in. So I don't think we're going to see the same thing out of Cure. He's going for a Viking opening here out of that starport, going to try to kill the scouting overlords. We got a couple Hellions moving out across the map to join their Reaper friend. But so far, I mean, nobody's ever won a game with a Reaper and 2 Hellions. Maybe you've killed a couple Creep Tumors and a couple Lings, but that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the 2 Hellions, and Reaper, as you said, it's just like 2 Hellions and a Reaper, not very useful. Once you've got the 4, you can start to bully a little bit. But this is interesting coming out of Cure. He's making a Marauder, a Medivac, and I'm willing to bet we're going to be seeing that Marauder Hellbat push. Concussive Shell starting soon? Maybe?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not seeing... Oh, there's the Armory. Okay. So Afreeca starting at 4 minutes this time.
There it is.
Indeed it is. There's your Concussive Shell, too. So it looks like we're going for the big, beefy Terran units. None of these Marines. None of these Hellions. Going to be Hellbats and Marauders, healed up by Medivacs with Concussive Shell. And the answer here really needs to be Banelings, Lings. The Banelings need to connect on the Hellbats. The Lings need to get surrounds on the Marauders. Pickups are available from Cure because he has that Medivac. It looks like a very, very strong push again. Coming here from the Blue Terran player. Rogue is making a Baneling Nest. It's almost done here. He's getting Spore Crawlers too, which can help with this. But I'm not sure he's going to be quite ready for what we're seeing out of Cure.
No, yeah, Cure is changing it up, but he's just out of going at 100% here. Once again with another, and this time quite committed attack. This time bringing in Marauders with Concussive Shell. Going to tag these Queens so they can't escape.
Gosh. The humanity. That tag is so good. If they can get the Baneling Nest, that'd be incredible.
Oh,
there are 5 Banelings on the way, but one more Queen goes down. The body
Reaper
flies backwards. Yeah, that was beautiful. All the Queens are down. The Banelings might be able to get something done here. Lings on the backside surrounding, not killing anything. The Banelings are crashing on top of the... Oh, getting a couple of those Hellbats. That was pretty good and actually cleaning it up.
Okay, so he holds. Yeah, it looks like he did. I mean, it's Hellbat pushes are so bizarre. Sometimes they just annihilate a Zerg. Well, the main thing is this time Rogue did have a Baneling Nest.
Yep.
But no, Rogue holding it pretty well this time. Cure has his 3rd CC on the way. Got Stim on the way behind this. Didn't get as much damage as he'd have liked, though. There's no doubt about that. And,
no, definitely not. I mean, resources lost at this stage. If we just look at that number, it's about fairly even. 1,800 for Cure, 1,600 for Jin.
There's a follow-up Liberator. Yeah, there must have been a follow-up Liberator that died there. Just got a couple of drones.
Yeah, nothing major. It's 55 to 42 workers. Rogue definitely has the lead. He's got a 4th base coming up down to the south here, too. He is going for a lair, I assume, for centrifugal hooks for those Banelings. And then another bit of a Marauder attack here with Hellions. They're not Hellbats yet. I have to imagine they will transform at some point here, but maybe they're just looking at clearing creep tumors, although that is a pretty big army just for tumor clearing.
Yeah, this is actually a little bit concerning. Like, this isn't I'm going to kill the Zerg army, but it's also not really a I can find losing this army, but here, I mean, he does have these Hellions. This is just, I mean, the first attack didn't work, but he's going to be giving it another try, it looks like. Not transforming into Hellbats, though, because he knows there's the Banelings there and that they just wipe the floor with the Hellbats.
Got 16, 20 Zerglings on the way. If they can get a surround on these units and wreck them, that's going to be a huge problem for Cure. That might be why he's pulling off Creepy, or he recognizes reinforcements are likely on their way. No Medivacs to heal here either, which just seems like a bit of a problem. They can get some stuff done, but every hit they take is not coming back here. No Medivacs at all in the area, and there it is. There's the attempted surround. Couple Hellions go down.
Oh, that is painful for Cure. Overstayed his welcome, there's no doubt about that. Trading out with some of the Lings with his Hellions, but that went pretty darn well for Rogue. And just, I mean, Marauders aren't the cheapest units in the world. So,
no,
you don't want to be losing just a couple of Marauders for what he got done, like clearing a bit of creep, that was it, no actual damage or anything. So, Cure, I guess, just trying things out here, and it's not really working. Meanwhile, Rogue got a Spire on the way. Both players with their 1-1 on the way, though.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Ling Bling Muta style out of Rogue, which I really enjoy. I wish it was more viable in StarCraft. It just seems like it's not as popular as it used to be. There's a small engagement on the right side here, too. Absolutely destroying everybody that was over there. Lings, Banelings, making it happen. Creep is spreading army supply. 34 to 30, but it's 71 to 58 workers right now. Sure, mules are good, but Rogue is keeping up in that economy. Centrifugal hooks on the way, +1/+1 on the way for the Zerglings and the Banelings. Here comes the drop, but it just doesn't feel like it's enough.
Stimmed Marines can always get something done. That being said, Rogue knows exactly what's coming his way. The drop is heading in as Mutas are already on the way. 15 of them, not just like the initial 8 that Zerg usually has. So Cure, I mean, he wants to get something done with a drop, but the window was never open here just because of his opening build. He does have his 2-2 on the way already, which is nice. But we're losing like save these medivacs or something. This will really hurt. And here we see the
Oh,
Mutas
man.
are collapsing it on top. These medivacs, can they get these Marines behind the rocks maybe to survive?
Yeah, it's good attempts here. Oh.
And out.
Wow. That just got absolutely devoured. No Terran left at all. Army supply 78 to 46. Rogue is coming.
Oh, these poor tanks.
Yeah, I mean, they're split. They're doing okay with themselves, but all the tanks are going to die. The Lings and the Muta's just too much here. Missile turret's coming up way too late, and that's your good game. Rogue gets his revenge. It's 1-1 after game 2, after 9 minutes.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit for... There's no doubt about it. That hurt a little bit for Kier. Just the opening. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He was just behind from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was just not prepared for those Banelings. The Banelings really got serious hits on the Hellbats, which he wasn't really microing very well to keep those things away. Put the Marauders in front, let them absorb those hits. Hellbats were gone. Lings were gone. The Medevac got picked off by the Queen, which can't allow to happen. And then from there, once that attack failed, Rogue had an advantage, and he just used it to get more and more ahead. And eventually 15 Mutas popped with 1-1 Zerglings and Banelings with centrifugal hooks, and Kier was not prepared for it. No missile turrets, bunch of tanks out, but against those Mutas, they were useless. And great job by Rogue tying this thing up. Yeah, he's in a great position going into game number 3.
Yeah, just killer's instinct there for Rogue, too. I mean, Kier was trying to make like a longer game out of that. He did follow it up with a 3rd CC after all. But yeah, it's just you can't go for an opening like that and get absolutely nothing done most of the time. And
right, and I mean, like we talked about, you don't necessarily have to win with it, but he needed to kill more than just a handful of Zerglings and maybe a Queen there, maybe 2 Queens. Not enough.
Anyway, we're getting on into the next game. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on into Afreeca World. It's great to see so many of you guys tuning on in for Kier and Rogue. A pretty darn good TvZ, that's for sure so far. Maybe we'll see no Hellbat all-ins this game, but we won't know till he does it. It's Kier.
And he's awake. He is ready. He is looking pretty terrifying. It's Rogue.
Yeah, if you face 2 Hellbat all-ins, like... That's probably one way to wake up in the morning. There's no doubt about it. And looking at this, Rogue looking to turn things on its head here as he's going for an early spawning pool. The earliest spawning pool, actually a 12 pool. And this is making me wonder, is there going to be Ravagers behind this?
Oh, that second gas indicates, yes, LaughNgamez, there will be. I don't know what else you could do with the 12 pool and 2 gas. Are there any other builds I'm unaware of that can do this?
I mean, Niduses have been pretty popular these days, but I wouldn't say so, no. Just the tried and true Roach Ravager build. This is one of my go-to Zerg builds. I'm just like, you know, all I need is 8 drones, a couple of Ravagers, and let's see what we can make happen.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Honestly, it's so many Terran players don't bother scouting with their worker, and they just rely upon the Reaper, and by the time the Reaper shows up, it's generally too late to really prepare for this. So Roach Warren coming up about halfway there, making sure it doesn't get supply blocked, is Rogue. And, I mean, Reaper on the way. It's under production, but by the time it gets over here, it's going to die to some Roaches that are moving across the map, and he's bad against the Roach Ravager anyway.
First 2 Lings are going to be crossing the map for Rogue. Kier, though, none the wiser, has no idea this is coming his way. This build is an interesting thing. Like, it's not super commonplace. When it first came out, it was looking pretty darn strong, but Terrans generally figured it out. Rogue is still someone who likes to do this every now and then. I've cast a couple of games of him doing this. Just something that he likes to keep in his back pocket every now and then. Even hiding these 2 Lings for the Reaper timing, by the way.
And the Reaper moves out, and the Lings are moving in. Are they? They're thinking about it.
There they go.
There we go.
There is a Marine on the way for Cure. That being said, I don't even know if he can save the command center or get the command center done before the Ravagers get here. Particularly with that delay, this one Marine going to take on these 2 Zerglings. Got to try and micro that to the best of his ability. However, there's not much you can do without a buffer or anything. Running to the Reaper, I guess.
I guess he's still dead.
Oh, but it goes down anyway. The command center It's trying to be completed. Roaches and Ravagers are crossing the map, though. The first couple of them on the way. Reaper's going to want to toss down a grenade to try and buy as much time as possible, I think, for Kier. Yeah, that grenade needs to go down because it's seconds before this command center gets completed. 10 seconds to go. Is it going to finish up?
Well, they're not actually concerned about it. The Ravagers don't care about that. They want this bunker.
Oh, yeah.
They want the bunker to never complete here. They're focusing down the SCV who's building the bunker as they keep coming in. Time and time again. Eventually.
There we go. Oh, this bunker, though.
Oh my gosh. So many SCVs are going down here. Even if you hold here, even if you hold the bunker, which you can't do.
Down. Oh my god.
That's it. That's your GG. Without the bunker is key to making this thing happen. SCVs are falling by the tens right now. SCVs are trying to get this round off. No, none of the Ravagers have died here. Absolutely no Zerg units are down. Calling down a mule, a couple Marines on the way, more Ravagers showing up. One Ravager does end up going down here, but it's 8 workers left for Q. Brutal stuff.
Kier's in a lot of trouble. He's got 7 SCVs, but he is on double command centers. Rogue is incredibly committed to this still. He's on 13 drones in total. A Cyclone just popped out, although it's in a bad spot. That needs to get on out of there. He can't afford to lose that Cyclone. Kier's in trouble, but I don't think he's quite dead yet.
I don't know, man. I like the Cyclone. The Cyclone can do a lot of stuff in the situation for sure. But more people are coming across the map here. More Zerg are on the way here. That Ravager. Sure, Zerg are people too. Basic attack, chasing these overlords away, trying to kill them. It's 13 to 8 workers. Now look, I know that I always say that the Terran is not dead until they're all the way dead. I totally get that. But it is not feeling good here. The Ravagers are outside. There's a bunker trying to be thrown up at the front. The mules are going to help immensely here. I wonder if it was a mistake from Rogue not to delay that natural base, because 2 mules are nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. If the Terran doesn't have the CC, they're done for. Oh, this Cyclone, though, caught on the low ground, could be in trouble. Locks onto one of the Ravagers.
Lock on.
This Cyclone is absolutely everything. Oh, there's a Roach though coming from the side. I think this Cyclone's done for, and that might be it for Kier.
Yep, Cyclone out. There are more Marines on the way, but Marines trade so poorly against Roaches and Ravagers that these numbers... Ravager is going to go down, gets focused, but again, the Roach shows up. Another Roach is here, can't get inside the bunker.
Yeah,
and that's your good game.
Okay. Huh. Like, that's just... Those Ravager pushes, man. They're so interesting to watch. Like, like if Kier, he wanted to kill those overlords, but if he started making another Cyclone, like, I think he holds that attack, and then he's just fine, right? Like, then he wins the game because Rogue's a 1-base Zerg. Right.
He wasn't expanding behind it. Additional Ravagers made sure of that. Yeah, I really feel like another Cyclone would have been fantastic. Maybe repairing the existing Cyclone would have been good too.
Yeah, having that Cyclone on the low ground be caught out.
Tragic.
Okay, now we'll get on into the next game. Going to be Port Alexander.
Well, yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody, for Afreeca World 32. Got some great talent here for you today. Very excited to be casting. Again, to start off here, Kier versus Rogue. It's just been fantastic so far. Some pretty short games. I don't think anything's gone past 10 minutes yet. But we might get a macro one here as players just kind of get a little bit more conservative towards the end of the series.
Yeah, we'll see. Rogue just needs to win the one more game, but this has been a fast series. Let's get this done. I mean, all perfectly valid builds they've been doing, though. I think Kier could have won that last game, though. I'm a little bummed out for him.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, he didn't really scout it until it was too late.
That's true. Greedy Terrans get what's coming.
True fact. Ooh, that SCV is moving out fast,
That is
though.
a fast SCV.
That is a proxy SCV.
Anyway, he's Kier up in the top left.
And way in the bottom right, an SCV is heading his way. It is Rogue.
No 12 pool this time. No Ravager Rush.
14 pool Ravager Rush. Go.
Is that a thing?
I don't think so. Not that I've seen.
Maybe
it's maybe it's new meta.
I think maybe Raynor has done something similar in which it's just like a slight opening. But no. Rogue going standard here. And
yeah, it's a 16 hatch. Not quite as greedy as the 17 hatch is, but still going to have a hard time holding what we're seeing here with this proxy. Proxy barracks number 1, proxy barracks number 2 has begun. Overlord scouting the proxy areas. The one on the left, unless it changes its angle, it's not going to see this. It's heading out, checking for proxies. That's the angle it's taking here, but it's not going to go left. It's going to go right and just miss this whole thing. Man, this is why I really feel like Zerg players, what you need to be doing here is going pool first or drone scouting. If you go hatch first and don't drone scout and you just rely upon the luck of your overlord finding these barracks, you're gonna die more often than not, and it just makes me feel bad.
The whole 2-Rex thing, it's such a big debacle or whatever, because like sometimes players will hold it completely fine, not scouting it. Sometimes players will. Like, I don't know whether to call this a good or a bad build, but the situation is looking pretty dicey for Rogue, as SCVs are going to be rolling up, going to be able to start a bunker before he even knows about this. Like, the bunker's building, and Rogue still has no idea he's getting 2-Rex.
Nope, no idea. So finally the natural pops. He sees this now. He sees the bunkers on the way. There's a Marine here. There's an SCV here. The drones need to get out because they really can't do anything about this. Roach Warren gets started immediately at our Rogue, but that bunker is going to finish the natural base. I don't know if there's any saving it here. I mean, the second gas is on the way too, which is really useful, but just continually double pumping Marines. The bunker is just about finished here, and the natural is in a heck of a lot of trouble.
A Zerg starting a Roach Warren usually is a sign of concession when it comes to that natural base, because usually you'll make lings and try and get up spines and queens if you're going to try and hold on to it. Rogue, though, without being able to scout this, knows that it's not happening, and so he's just giving it up and going to be going to the follow-up plan, which is make some Roaches and Ravagers and try and break this thing, or maybe he'll throw up a Lair and go for a Nidus. Those really are the only options for a Zerg player.
Yeah, I mean, one base to one base really does not favor the Zerg player here. Broodlings come in and try to get some shots off on that bunker, but really not damaging it too much before they expire. There's the repair. We're officially one base to one base, 21 to 18 workers. And Cure could expand behind this if he wanted to. I really feel like he could. Although there's a lair on the way. He might want to be ready. Oh, free Roach!
That is massive for Cure with his whackload of Marines able to kill a Roach. And okay, GG. All right.
Swinging back and forth the series. Cure Rogue. Cure Rogue.
Should we just flip a coin for the next one? Thanks so much to everyone for tuning on in and for waiting around. But the game is happening. The Decider. These guys know how to build suspense.
They certainly do. Cyber Forest. It sounds like 1980s version of the future.
All right, it's a best of 5, currently tied 2-2. Spawned down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's Jyn Air's Cure.
And his teammate rested and relaxed. It's going to be Rogue. Alright, so no SCV moving out, no proxies today. Out of Cure, Overlord trying to check for those things, but not going to see anything because there's nothing to see. Rogue not going 12 pool either. So we might actually see our first macro matchup this day, which would be nice. I like macro games. They're my favorite.
Until we've passed the Hellbat window from Cure, though. Because that's how the first 2 games went.
Correct.
So I think the game will go long if we make it past 7 minutes. 7, 8 minutes? That's the mark we gotta pass.
Alright, 8 minutes it is. Yeah, that mute attack switch over on Here 0 was about a 9-minute game, so fair enough. I guess it wasn't a tech switch, he just went right for Mutas.
Yeah, he did, and then he killed Cure. Cure had his tanks all nicely lined up for the Mutalisk to come in and just one by one just knock him off.
This is right in a row. No Marines anywhere. Ugh, brutal. Such a sad, sad thing to see. And I main Zerg, so it's like, that's awesome. But man, at the same time, you want to be a little prepared if you're Terran.
It is a pity seeing tanks just die without accomplishing anything. It's like, oh. Went to all the effort of sieging them up, and then they just...
Blah. All right. Well, Reaper on the way, almost ready. Thinking about being ready.
He's getting there.
He goes. All right, so the question is
just this time as well.
Yeah. Does he move out or is he playing defensively? It looks like he's just going to move right out across the map here. For some reason, knows there are not Zerglings ready and waiting for this to happen to come knock down that natural. So good game sense out of Cure. Gets across the map as fast as he can. He'll have a small window to kill some Zerglings or maybe a couple drones before those Queens pop. Queens on the way, about 50% complete. Lings are here. KDA charge going down again. A good Zerg will move that wound back. Oh, lost it though. There's a kill. That's a first blood out of Cure.
Oh, wow, too. Nicely done.
Not too shabby. And gets away with his life. Good control there by Cure. Nicely done.
Ooh, 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 ooh. We are macroing. Third CC
Hooray!
on the way from Cure. Or at least one party is. We'll see what if Rogue's gonna throw something up like a potential Nidus or Roaches. He does do that every now and then. So far, though, no, just a very standard opening coming out of these guys, and I like this coming out of Cure, because he's got the Hellions on the way, and the thing is, Rogue just, he's, like, the last few games have just been crazy, so he's just got to respect what's coming his way, and Cure just completely shifting gears.
Yeah, man, that third command center is halfway complete here. Additional Hellions on the way here, too. At some point, Rogue has to know. All right, feeling good about this. He's walling off a little bit, possibly against Hellbat attack. And getting a Roach War in here, too. So, yeah, it looks like he is preparing for some aggression by Cure that's not really coming here. Yeah. Second factory on the way from Cure, though.
This is
second and
greedy
third.
In a sense from Cure. Like, look at this. He's already got both of his gases fully saturated. He's made 2 Hellions, a Reaper, and a Marine. Got his 3rd CC done, and he's throwing up extra factories now. He is so vulnerable if Rogue was going for any sort of, like, aggression, but you're just reading this right.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue is preparing for aggression on his end, and as a result, he's not being aggressive himself.
Yeah, look at these safety roaches on the way. Just a couple of them, but the Roach War and those roaches, those are not drones, so that's hurting Rogue a little bit and not committing to those, and it's just the safety play from Rogue, whereas Cure's just being absolutely as greedy as can be, going to be on triple factory production, floating over his 3rd command center. And Rogue has no idea. He hasn't scouted his opponent at all. He's just sort of playing this blind safety.
I think Cure's going racecar mech, LaughNgamez.
Racecar mech.
Cyclones and Hellions all day. No tanks, no Thors. It's mech, but it's fast.
I love this racecar mech.
I know. I think Pig coined it. It was really nicely done.
I've heard people describe it as like battle mech, but I think battle mech's more like Thors and Hellbats.
Yeah, for sure. Thors really feel like battle mech to me.
Yeah, they do. Thors, Hellbats, a couple of BCs maybe.
Reaper comes in, stays alive, hops up onto the high ground, checks to see the lair is done. No second gas taken inside the main base. Might get... No way he gets a drone here.
No.
Come on.
Not targeting. Here is busy with other things. He's got Cyclones and Hellions on the way out, and the main thing is Rogue hasn't scouted out at all. Like, he's got... Okay, there we go. He finishes up an Overseer, sending it in, but this is too late to do much of anything. 5 minutes. The game was... Other games were over by this, but Cure got up a 3rd command center, dropping lots of mules on it, and already getting out a good number of Cyclones, so just fantastic opening for Cure, economy-wise.
Ugh, Maglev is finishing up here, too.
A little bit slower than it used to.
True fact. It was nerfed a tiny bit, but still, it's going to finish. So creeps start happening. Just more and more roaches. Aspire getting started from Rogue here. Another Lord down. That might supply block.
Wow,
yep, there's the supply block.
Done. There's a Spire on the way for Rogue, however, when it comes to directly confronting this army, that's not going to help. So we'll see if he's able to get anything else done. But, oh, look at this. A Ling run by being attempted from Rogue, but that Marine gives his life to scout it out. So Cure's completely fine from that. And this is just a straight-up nice opening from Cure. We'll see where the game's going to go from here.
Yeah, I mean, this is so frustrating to play against a Zerg. If you try to retreat, you lose stuff. If you try to engage, you lose stuff. Just Cyclones are so zippy. Hellions in there, too, really dealing with the Zerglings that might be able to handle this otherwise. Going for Blue Flame and the Maglev, or Magfield.
Once that Maglev is done, it just, the roaches don't stand a chance. It's just not fair, almost. It's just...
Yeah, it's 800 damage over the course of that lock-on. You don't even need half of it to kill a roach.
No, you don't. It's ridiculous. There we go. Cure continuously poking and prodding his opponent. He's got his 1-1 on the way. Both players have their upgrades coming on in. Factories on the way for Cure as well. Getting up an engineering bay in case there's mutas on the way. These mutas could potentially blindside him here.
Yeah, I've always felt enough mutas can really just wreck this, because you can't flee from them. The Hellions are useless. The Cyclones are okay. Yeah, but there's only 4 of them.
I mean, they kill the mutas pretty quick. Well, the mutas aren't armored, so they don't kill them that quickly.
Right, but they do so much damage even without that armor bonus.
This is just so many Hellions coming out of Cure. In a direct fight, Rogue can't take this, I don't believe, because it's just like he's just got such a good backing from his economy. He's already got a he's got his 3rd command center fully saturated. These mutas will fly in as a bit of a surprise. There's 7 of them in total, but these Cyclones are coming on in. They're gonna lock onto these roaches and just start popping them off. There's more Terran than Zerg here on Rogue's side of the map right now.
Yeah, it's not great. The mutas are flying in to try to see what they can get done, but over here the roaches are just getting murdered. However, no turrets here, and suddenly SCVs are going down. They're retreating from this position as fast as they can. Drilling Claws on the way from Cure 2. Engagement on the left side, still just doing that dance back and forth. Yep, and getting on out of there. I mean, it takes a good 5 or 6 shots from lock-on to actually kill a muta.
It does. I don't know. Now, Cure, he's got to be careful not to lose these units, because this style can bleed off relatively quickly. He's taken an economic blow, but he's not in a terrible situation. That being said, if we look at what Rogue is doing right now, he's just made a ton of roaches. He's at 30 roaches. That number's fallen a bit because of these Cyclones.
Muta's still doing stuff down there in Cure's main base. Trying to pick off that refinery while taking shots from the Cyclones. Can't quite get it, unfortunately. Rogue dashing on top of Cure. Over on the other side here. More roaches on the way. He has an infestation pit into a hive. I'm not sure what he's trying to go for. I've seen Vipers be used in this situation to abduct the Cyclones and murder them that way with some Hydra support.
It's just a lot of roaches, man. Ravagers and more roaches on the way. Rogue seems to be doing all right with this. These mutas getting a bit of damage done. The one thing that I'm a little bit concerned for Cure is he's just been 3 base this whole time. Usually by now, Terran would have thrown up an extra command center, at least say 1. But he's kind of locking himself in here. There we go. There's a 4th command center. A little bit later than I think I'd have liked to have seen, though. And
yeah, we'll see if that works out for him. +2 flyer. Did that finish?
Oh.
Nope, never mind.
Cyclones lock onto the mutas. Are they going to be able to get them down? Not quite those lucky mutas, man.
And tissue regeneration means they'll be back pretty soon.
They will. This opening was looking not great for Rogue. However, as this game has gone on, it's not too bad from the scene of things. Supply-wise, Rogue is maxed out. He's starting to build up a bank. Got that hive up. Infestation pit, reaching higher techs. And while this Hellion Cyclone style is good in the early game, while it's great at sort of exploiting weaknesses in your opponent's play, once a player like Rogue is maxed out, he's going to have, and sort of with all the tech, he's going to have no issue dealing with this. Lots of Hellions and Cyclones going down here.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Rogue is trading pretty well here. That said, he's lost about 2,000 more resources than Cure has. +2 flyer is coming in. Additional roaches trying to focus down the Cyclones as the Hellions are not a problem.
God, 37 roaches on the way. Rogue's just happy to trade this out while reaching the higher tech, getting more upgrades, more bases up.
Yeah, he's picking off Hellions on the front lines here. If that gets low enough, Lings might actually be decent in this position. Muta's flying in, trying to pick off these dudes. But instead, just getting wrecked. Nice Widowmine shot there, too, getting rid of one of those Mutalisks. And here comes Rogue. He's pushing right on in, really threatening this 3rd base hard. I don't know if they're going to be saved. Cure is retreating from it fully here.
Yeah, like he's got no choice. The Cyclones don't have the muscle to fight this straight on up. The command center is actually being targeted down. That needs a lift, but it's not getting lifted. And this is just looking really good for Rogue. He's just made more and more roaches. He's just confident versus this style. And he's just destroying his teammate right now. Cure down on supply by a healthy margin. Or an unhealthy margin for him, I guess. But these Cyclones now trading out head-on with the roaches. They're getting a lot of face time with each other. And while Curie's been more efficient overall, he's lost a base, lost extra units. And Rogue just has a monstrous economy to back this up. He's on 5-6 bases now.
Yep, the Vipers are coming in now too. +2 flyer attack is just about done. Cure's army supply 63 to 87. Not looking great for the Terran player. Like you said, losing a base there. Rogue is on such a high economy. More and more roaches getting made all the time. And yeah, Rogue does not care about trades, about unequal trades. He just needs to trade what he can, keep that count down as much as he can, wait for the Vipers to show up, maybe some Blinding Cloud, maybe some Abducts. And then from there, it's just more roaches, it looks like.
Yeah, this style for Kier isn't going to get any better. That's the main thing right now. His economy's been hurt, so he doesn't have that going for him. The game's just going to get better and better for Rogue, and usually when we see a Terran playing this style, they're doing a bit more than just, say, bashing their head against a large number of roaches, which is what Rogue has forced Kier to do. Kier's not sent Cyclones out to try and pick off other bases. He hasn't had an odd Banshee here and there, or Hellion run-bys or anything. It's just been trading out, and that's favoring Rogue right now. Just heads up. Now we're finally seeing some move-outs from Kier, heading into different locations here. Some Cyclones and Hellions moving towards this base down here. But
+3 flyer for Rogue. He really is committing to those upgrades. He does he even have any mutas right now? He doesn't even have any muta left.
Look at this though. The Vipers are chasing down these Cyclones.
There
They're
it
all
is.
just getting abducted right now, and that's a lot of
That's
resources
pretty good.
to drain.
Yeah, that does seem to be the generic standard way to deal with this, is eventually get up Vipers, abduct the Cyclones. The Hellions are not a big deal once the Cyclones are dead.
I mean, these
There's some
Cyclones are
bats
picking
in
off
there,
a
too.
lot of these roaches right now, so that count is thinning out. So that's not going too badly.
Oh, the 4th base of Kier is in trouble too there.
It's an orbital. Oh, poor Kier. Not a planetary like usual. He can't afford to lose another command center here, as Rogue is working away on this. That needs to get lifted up. The Cyclones will come in to deal with these roaches, but as this is going on, Roach is still at his 3rd base. His economy just got hit hard, and Rogue's not letting him recover it right now.
Yeah, this really seems to be a clinic that Rogue is putting on here. Kier has a really hard to deal with method, strategy he's using. But Rogue's like, you know what? I don't care if I'm going to lose more resources than you. Have these inequitable trades. I'm just going to go ahead and throw myself at you over and over again. Pick off bases, pick off SCVs, and eventually just overwhelm you with sheer numbers, which really is what Zerg is all about.
Yeah, this is why we've usually seen the Terran transition away from this at some point. There is +3 now done for these Cyclones, but the thing is they already put out so much damage. It's really their weakness, which is what hurts them. We'll see, though. Now, more roaches out for Rogue. He's maxed out. He's had no issue staying maxed out with his incredibly good economy behind this. Looks like Kier will be coming on in, looking to finally get a move off here, pick off a base perhaps. But Rogue, he's just a killer instinct. They're gonna send roaches into every base from the scheme of things. Go back home to deal with this attack, and we'll see who's gonna come out on the better end of it. But I'm willing to bet that it's not gonna be Kier.
Yeah, not looking good. Although the lock-on on this hatchery, it's pretty good here. It's gonna go ahead and take that thing down. It looks like Roaches and Graveters. Yeah, they're not getting anything done. If they could kill them some tech structures, that'd be nice. I'm really surprised that the Rogue is going for this +3 flyer. If they get the hive, that'd be pretty good, but decent abducts, and there it is.